Let's keep it simple. This video is not just about my 3-fund portfolio, but these numbers are crazy. SCHD has a 5-year appreciation of 54.7%. VU, or the S&P 500, has a 5-year of 90.73%. SCHG, which is the growth fund, has a 5-year of 143.25%. Between the three, that's an average growth of 96.23% for 5 years, or 19.25% per year for 5 years. If one invested $500 per month at a 19.25% annual compound growth for just 20 years, one would have over $1 million at $1,022,046. If they did that same thing for 30 years, they would have $6,098,995. Now, obviously, past performance doesn't equal future performance, but my portfolio has been doing crazy numbers for over a decade, and I don't see any reason why it would slow down anytime soon. Here's the brutal truth. Many financial advisors and money managers just take your portfolio and place you in 50 to 100 positions to confuse you and complicate everything. Don't believe me? If you have a managed account managed by somebody else and you're paying somebody to manage that account, go log in right now and look at it. It's going to look exactly like this, with so many different stocks and possibly even 20 or 30 ETFs or mutual funds, which is just absurd. None of those financial advisors even invest that way themselves, so why are they putting you in those types of positions? The unfortunate, brutally truth answer is to confuse you. You'll look at this type of portfolio and get overwhelmed knowing that you could never possibly understand each and every position there, so you could never take the portfolio from them. If they succeed in making you feel this way, they won. They get to charge that ridiculous 1+% forever, and now you lose hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of that fund to pad their pockets. While a 1% fee doesn't seem like much, it could make a huge difference down the line. Let's say you have $25,000 saved in a retirement account with an 11% average annual rate of return, and you don't put in another penny for the next 30 years. If you paid a 0.5% fee on your account balance each year, your retirement savings would grow to $500,000. Bump those fees up to 1% and you would end up with $436,000. But what would happen if you paid 1.5% in fees each year? In that case, you would finish with $380,000 after 30 years. That's over $100,000 of your money that you just gave up based off of just a little bit higher of a fee. The other crazy thing is what these advisors are placing you in doesn't even beat the S&P 500. I see this day after day working with my private financial clients. We look at the portfolio that their advisor had built for them, and the return these professionals are getting are not even beating the very basic and very, very cheap S&P 500. Go check your account right now. The S&P 500 is up over 27% this year, and to invest in that is basically free. So if you're paying an advisor or manager any sort of money, they need to be beating the S&P 500 by at least 3 to 5% for me to think that it's worth it. If you see 30% or less on your year-to-date statement, reach out to me and let's set you up with a one-on-one session via Zoom where we can discuss your options. Email me at ProfessorG.invest@gmail.com today, and let's set you up with some private financial coaching where I charge a fee and I don't take a percentage of your portfolio for the rest of your life. My name is Nolan Govea, my students call me Professor G, and I made this channel to make investing simplified. Regardless of if you have a financial advisor or a money manager or you're managing your portfolio by yourself, you absolutely need to simplify this thing for 4 main reasons. Do this and I know that you'll have higher returns, less stress, and be able to spend more time doing what you actually care about. So number 1, let's start there. Number 1's all about alleviating stress. The goal of investing is not to spend hours investing. The goal of investing is to set you up with an optimized portfolio that brings a solid return and grows and makes your money work very hard for you so that you can go out and enjoy life. I mean, honestly, you could get very rich with very little effort and very little amount of time actually picking within investing. You could just stick with the S&P 500, which gains about 10% yearly appreciation with dividends reinvested, and just put $100 per week away for 30 years, and it would grow to over $1.3 million. By spending multiple hours per day researching the next big thing or finding an investment that you might get 2% more of a return on, you'll ultimately make more money as long as you're right. But our most valuable asset on this planet is time, and you're giving a lot of that up to make just a little bit more money. If you end up with $1.5 million rather than $1.3 million, but lose time with loved ones or your health suffers because of it, was it really worth it? The next reason that you need to simplify your portfolio is because, let's be real, you likely don't even remember why you picked some of the positions that you have in that portfolio. I want you to go look at your portfolio right now and look at all the positions that you have, and if you don't think that one of those positions can beat the S&P 500 within 5 years, just kick it out right now. And even before that, if there's any position that you don't even know why you have it, today's the day to say goodbye. It's time to do some spring cleaning in December. So I guess that's winter cleaning. But anyway, just get it done. Number 3, you're spreading yourself too thin. There's going to be holdings in your portfolio that you believe in way more than the other ones in there. Like if you went through and ranked them, number 1 through 30, in order of what you actually believe in, the problem is that you kind of feel bad neglecting those bottom ones, so you throw them a couple dollars here and there. That balances out the amounts a little bit, but what you're actually doing is you're putting money in a place that's doing less for your portfolio. That doesn't make any sense. You just want to be nice and give them a little bit of money because you feel bad because these other ones are getting all the share. But that's not the way that you should be doing this in order to invest, because at the end of the day, the goal is to get the most return, not just have the most positions with the most amount of money in them.
Then I think that diversification is a terrible mistake to any degree. And I got asked that question when I was at SunTrust the other day. And if you really know businesses, you probably shouldn't own more than 6 of them. I mean, if you can identify 6 wonderful businesses, that is all the diversification you need. And you're going to make a lot of money, and I will guarantee you that going into a 7th one is going to, rather than putting more money in your first one, it's got to be a terrible mistake. Very few people have gotten rich on their 7th best idea. But a lot of people have gotten rich on their best idea.
When the great Warren Buffett speaks strongly about something, we should be listening. Specifically take to heart this advice from Warren Buffett, who's worth about $150 billion, I might add, and exactly what he recommends you invest in.
The question is about diversification, and I've got a dual answer to that. If you are not a professional investor, if your goal is not to manage money in such a way as to get a significantly better return than the world, then I believe in extreme diversification. I mean, so I believe 98 or 99%, maybe more than 99% of people who invest should extensively diversify and not trade. So that leads them to an index fund type of decision with very low costs. Because all they're going to do is own a part of America. And they made a decision that owning a part of America is worthwhile. I don't quarrel with that at all. That is the way they should approach it.
So for most people, he says index funds or ETFs like the ones that I talk about here on this channel is what most people should be investing in. Number 4, the reason why you need to simplify this portfolio is because your returns will be higher. Like I started this video with, the returns of a simple but solid portfolio usually beat out that of a very complicated portfolio. Between SCHD, VOO, and SCHG, that is an average growth of 96.23% for 5 years, or 19.25% per year for 5 years. We can't expect that kind of growth forever, but anything close would change your life. I've seen countless clients try to beat the market and outperform, and they can do it 1 year, but then the next 2 years they go backwards. Slow and steady with a strong actual strategy is the way to go if you actually want to build your net worth and actually get rich and be able to live off of your investments forever. Quit guessing and quit hoping, and let's jump on a private coaching call today with my email down in the description to set you up for life. Watch this video to learn more about my 3-fund portfolio, which is going to be the best thing and actually the most simple thing that you can invest in forever, or watch this video to keep you going strong in your investing journey.